Yeah, yeah,
Speaker.
yeah, yeah, you should have,
where the recommendation calls for it to be noted. That's the reason why I'm asking for clarity or maybe a legal opinion, because there have been funds, whether it was passed in the 2024-2025 budget, there was money that was done on that day for the grant to be set out. So just checking first whether this should be for a item for approval, then noting. Can we have that first?
no. Let's do this. Just debate the item, raise whatever issues you want to raise before the item is tabled for noting or approval. We then invite legal to guide on your comment. Let's do that later. I will consider your request.
Okay, thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the Democratic Alliance in the Governance Committee had raised two issues, two concerns. I think the first one was with regards to this year that the beneficiaries weren't named in our committee on the list. It was given as a regional base, the allocations. Now, in every year, we always get a list of beneficiaries, so it can be transparent and all councillors from each ward can do the oversight to see how well this non-profit organization do things in the community. So it was raised in our committee, and it was told oversight to see how well this non-profit organization do things in the community. So it was raised in our committee, and it was told that in our next meeting that list should be done. But hopefully by next year, before it comes to council, that list needs to be provided. So we do our oversight. The second one, Speaker, is that we've always been raising the issue of when we're having these events. And the mayor has made it in his statement that in our city we need to be bold and responsible. But we are hiring tents that cost us 43,000. But every region in this municipality, we have community halls, can fill up about 1,000 people. So I think that we need to also consider that we need to be saving instead of hiring marquees, because we have the infrastructure, we have the resources. Again, but hopefully before the speaker item.
Thank you very much, Councillor Singh. Councillor Anne.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the report was initially tabled for consideration last year, the IFP gladly supported it. Annually, the program helps various organizations to fulfill their mandates as non-profit and non-government groups. The work that these institutions do cannot and must not be undervalued, and we cannot overemphasize their importance. The IFP congratulates them and thanks them for doing what government cannot and fails to do. However, Mr. Speaker, the report placed before us today expects us to rubber stamp something that has already taken place. The report indicates that the handover took place on April 25th, 2025. While we appreciate that the GIA allocation for NGOs were approved last year, we believe that the added spend of some 208,000 Rand of ratepayers' money used for splashy handover functions and a program could have and should have been put to better use. May I remind this House that as per the budget statement report given to the Finance Committee last week, EThekwini is sitting at a very low cash on hand percentage. Every cent, therefore, is precious and must be used in the most circumspect manner. It is the view of the IFP that the additional spend of 208,000 will be viewed by the AG as irregular and unauthorized expenditure, and therefore cannot in good conscience note this item. The IFP will therefore abstain on this matter. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Annepen. Councillor Said.
Thank you, Speaker. Greetings to you, Speaker, and the collective leadership of this city. Speaker, we see that these grants are necessary, and they are necessary aid that must be provided to organizations that impact change in society holistically. However, we must guard ourselves, Speaker, of persons seeking to gain under the guise of running NPOs and NCOs to gain financially through these programs. We must further develop clear goals and advance ourselves to support organizations that assist the city to advance its agenda. We are despondent on supporting these types of grants when in average speak to some 49,000 Rand per organization, which does not fulfill the true need of any organization meaning to bring change sustainably. We must also request, without excuse, the measure of impact these organizations have had on society and in which focus area have they been working and made an impact. Albeit that we focus historically on healing on items, our areas of need, we must, however, be cognizant of the need for focused drug rehabilitation as well as community policing organisms which will create environments of economic development, sporting freedom, leading to secured social welfare. Speaker, these organizations that are benefiting from this are all over the city. And it's quite clear that we, as the collective leadership of the city, don't know what they do and what impact they've had. We are saying in no uncertain terms, Speaker, that the amounts that are benefiting from this are all over the city. And it's quite clear that we, as the collective leadership of the city, don't know what they do and what impact they've had. We are saying in no uncertain terms, Speaker, that the amount...
The intervention by the city to assist organizations that are furthering democracy and the democratic experience in the whole of society in EThekwini. The organizations covered by the grant in aid assistance range from those who are providing early childhood development, those who are dealing with social welfare, which covers some of the issues raised by the Honorable Councillor Said around the issue of drugs and the related issues of social ills. It also covers sports, arts and culture. It covers economic development, skills development, and faith-based organizations involved in community development work. Now, we take the points made by honorable members of this House around the issues of maybe getting a report on the impact of such interventions and the impact that these organizations are making in communities. We also take the issue around the issue of transparency, that we must be transparent about these organizations. However, you remember, Honorable Speaker, njengomuntu wasemakhaya ukuthi qali kwakuthi makuzolotsholwa kumiwe esangweni kumenyezwe. However, because of the changes that have happened in society and issues of crime, we no longer do that because but besamile lapha esangweni abantu kufika abantu babaphuce leyo mali because ukumemeza is saying we have money. Now uhulumeni ke usehambe a step further ngokuthi develop a police ebizwa ngokuthi Protection of Personal Information Act, which then prohibits us from splashing out amagama nama details abantu. In this instance, there was a request for a list of beneficiaries and their locations in terms of ward. And it was indicated in the committee that the list exists, but it will be issued on a request basis. Therefore, any member of council, if he requests that list is available, but it would not be proper to display them in the papers, because it then says you have money, and there are a lot of things that have happened to people who are known to have money. There are extortion rings and all other issues. Thirdly, the issue of the higher costs. This report is asking us to note that this event has already taken place. It took place in Amanzimtoti Civic Hall, which is municipal owned, and therefore that falls away. we are trying by all means to ensure that we curtail the unnecessary costs. And as a result, we did not invite anyone else except the beneficiaries to the event. So the costs that are there are associated with the transportation and the aids like your sounds and decorations to ensure that people are meeting in a hall that is befitting and respectful to their organizations. The reason why we get them together, we don't just mail the checks to them, is for transparency, so that councillors and other people can come in and look at those people, touch and feel them, but also to ensure that they can network amongst themselves. If councillors had attended that, they would note that in terms of impact, one of the speakers in the event was a past beneficiary, someone who has benefited from the granting aid and was started off and is now a very successful person in terms of the endeavors that they are engaged in. And she came in to speak to the beneficiaries about the opportunities that are out there and to showcase that we are not just giving a group of friends and people who are known to the city, but we are contributing to the endeavors out there. As the ANC, we support the report and we ask for council to note that the event took place and it was very successful. Thank you.
Councillor Baroque.
Speaker, we find it very strange we bring this item for noting now when the event is already been done. Secondly, it stays very, very clear here there was marquees used. Now, if my learned friend Matlala is saying that, you know what, you use the Toti Hall, then why is it in this agenda we got on page 19, we use 43,000? So this is becoming an norm in our council that we bring it for noting when the function is, when the event is already gone and done and dusted. So these are the items that we could have saved money. Yet we agree with the initiative that the granting aid is what purpose it's for. It is a good cause. But if you get information like this, it's just not on, Chair, Speaker.
Yeah, thank you. There was a request from the first speaker to invite legal to comment on whether it is correct for the executive to recommend for council to note. There is a view that ESCO should have recommended for council to approve. I will invite legal to comment on that.
Thank you, Babu Speaker. I believe the council members will recall that issue granting aid, allocation of funds and distribution is provided for in the budget, which is approved by council. So the distribution and the allocation of monies was approved by this council. What this report seeks to do is to report to the council members as to what happened to that project that they approved. You are being informed that the money was allocated to a total of 111 organizations. You are being informed that in the money that you approved, 208,000 was used for the event of hosting these organizations. So there is nothing to approve. That's why it's being brought here for noting. You already approved, but you are being informed about what happened to the project that you approved when you were approving a budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I hope council has been clarified. The report is correct to be here for noting. Is the recommendation noted, councillors?
No.
Next item, City Manager.
Mr. Speaker, the IFP abstains.
Yes, quite, thank you. We'll record that. City Manager.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Item 1.4, Sundry Grant in Aid for 2025-2026 Advert Report. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much. Three speakers. Councillor J. Anipen. Councillor Mngwango, Action SA. Councillor S. Mchetwa, ANC. In that order, Councillor Anipen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the position taken by the IFP on the previous item, we do believe that the GIA program has enormous benefit to our people. We have said before, and it bears saying again, the outreach programs undertaken by non-profits make the work of government a whole lot lighter. Their influence and reach go where policy, laws, and bureaucracies cannot gain access. Sadly, many of these organizations do not have the administrative skill or the support to ensure perpetuity. In rolling out these programs mentioned in the reports, our municipality will upskill stakeholders of these NGOs and NPO bodies and assist them to use their skills to access resources not only locally but possibly globally as well. For that, our city must be commended. The IFP, however, still maintains that there remains an alarming level of political interference and concerns that NGOs and NPOs that are politically connected benefit from the program. The IFP considers this distasteful and calls on all quarters of this House to treat it with the scorn and contempt that it deserves. We call on the Support Committee, the Office of the CFO, and Internal Audit Controls to look into these allegations so that we root out anything tainting what could be a remarkable and noble program, and this will help all of us. We also call on the Office of the Speaker to ensure that all wards are somehow included and to equally ensure that the distribution takes place amongst ward councillors as well as PR councillors for the sake of transparency. With this, the IFP gladly supports these recommendations. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mngwango.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The recommendation itself may sound clear and acceptable, but as Action SA, we have a serious concern which may lead a legal opinion. Can we, as council, approve an item that commit the municipality before approving annual budget? Because this recommendation seeks to say we are committing the municipality on a budget that we are not yet approved, because it talks of 2025-26 budget, which we'll approve on Thursday. So does MFMA allow that we commit the municipality before approving the annual budget? I see this may become an irregular expenditure, Honourable Speaker. That's really a concern we are having. Can we get a clarity in terms of legal opinion on this one? Can we do that, commit the municipality before approving the budget?
Okay, we will do the same. We'll seek that opinion before we go to the item. I will request that maybe you conclude your debate, but your request will be considered at the end of other speakers. Okay, thank you. Okay, Councillor Mchetwa.
Somlomo ngiyabonga ngibingelele cha sinesicelo la sokuthi lolu hlelo oluhle luka ANC olubenefitisa futhi bonke abantu
Donald Trump
singakhethile ukuthi uyiphi inhlangano kodwa lomphakathi wonke siphinde futhi siluqale
ngenaphi
silifeze kulonyaka kulonyaka ke siyafisa ukuthi sisheshe futhi sikhiphe ikhangiso zokuthi lolu hlelo lusheshe lusebenze libasiza abantu bakithi njengoba sekushiwo ukuthi lisiza ke inhlangano zemphakathi okuyizona ezihlomulayo njengoba kadesho ubaba uMadlala ukuthi kade kunomcimbi lapho inhlangano khona zimukeliswa imali yokuzisiza nakulokhu ke siyafisa ukuthi sisheshe siliqale sibekelwe ukuthi silivulele uma iqala nje inyanga kaJune luze liyovalwa icelo ngokuphela kwenyanga kaJuly mhla ka31. Uma sivala ke siyafisa ukuthi kungenzeki lokho kwenzekile ngonyaka ofile ukuthi sivale siphinde sivule ngoba bengenela abantu aba-applyile noma bafaka icelo. Sifisa nje ukuthi le nyanga ezimbili esizifakile siuhlabe siulawule sibaceca sibanqenqe abantu bakithi ukuthi bakwazi ukufaka icelo ngesikhathi sithi sivala sibavalele ngaphakathi. Siyafisa ke ukuthi sicele ukuthi sisifake ikhangiso ngokusheshsha ukuze abantu bakithi bahlomule. Siyabonga.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before we deal with the recommendations on page 20, I've already granted the permission as per the request from one council members to invite legal to guide us accordingly. Giovanni?
Oh, we are seven. Thank you, Abu Speaker. I don't even think it's a legal issue. It's a common sense issue, Speaker. What we do as the council, even on the procurement issues, because we intend to start spending at the beginning of the financial year. We finalize our procurement plans. We issue out bid adverts while we are still in this year, so that we start spending and appointing companies at the beginning of the financial year. So what is being sought here is the authority to advertise and call for applications. For those applications to be, the closing date would be the 31st of July, which is in the next financial year. And then you appoint or allocate as early as possible, and you don't delay invitation for applications and wait for the commencement of the financial year. So there is no money that is being committed here. I don't think there is any danger of irregular expenditure, in my view. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you,
Speaker.
councillors. Are the
Speaker.
resolution agreed?
Speaker.
Agreed.
No. I gave you a time to debate. You said we are done.
Let's talk about common sense now.
No. Councillors agreed?
Don't have time.
No, Speaker, no.
Next
We
item.
can't support, Speaker. We don't
Next item.
support.
Ufuna sikhulume ngento angenawo umnqwanqwa.
No,
Speaker,
Speaker.
we don't support.
Speaker.
You must
Point
record
of order,
that.
Speaker.
No. Point of order.
Yeah, Speaker. Ngicela uSpeaker asithathe serious. As Senior Speaker, we are raising a concern here as councillor. Ukuthi umhlongo ukhulume kabi. Kungenzeka mhlambe ukuthi lokho esikhuluma ngako uyena kwenza sense, but ukudelela lokho akushilo. So siyacela ukuthi
Yeah.
we attend the Speaker
Aye, aye.
because ngelinye ilanga izokwenzeka and kube kanje. Siyacela
Thank you.
Speaker.
Your point of order is overruled, City Manager.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Item 1.5, request for budget consolidation and reprioritization for Human Capital Unit. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much, councillors. Are the recommendation agreed?
Agreed.
Next item.
The second report is the report of Community Services Committee from their meeting, which was held on the 15th of the 4th, 2025. Item 2.1, a request for urgent budget reprioritization to cater for project 2084B, which is the rehabilitation of Rotary Stadium, which has a budget shortfall. Committee recommends.
The Speaker,
Thank you very much.
Speaker,
Yes, Kiambosa.
the DA requests a 5-minute caucus on this item.
Granted. Let's give council time to the DA for 5 minutes for them to caucus. We will resume after that.
Nihambeni ngabuyi. Yazwa umthetho, nihambeni ngabuyi.
Hamba mthetho iphi imali eyipika.
Hey. Hayi lo sazoba lo. Ayona illegal issue le.
Support. Abanayo common sense eyabona nje.
Hayi. Your legal issue, common sense.
Manje ufuna mina i-council ngimise.
Kahle nje futhi
Iphethe lo.
no ubona ngathi lahlekile common sense. Akazi ukuthi mina angipanisho wena ngipanisho usithi mina. Makuthiwa ngiphumileke esandleni.
Funa phela umphela.
Ufuna ukuthi usithi manager
Akayibheka.
Hayi speak.
Manje badlala uthi delelo badlala. Uthi manje umncwango ufuna ukuthi sidebate into angenayo. Common sense. La ke esibheke la lo, sidebate into angenayo.